So what's up, SNC? I have been reaching out, and I've given them a fair chance. I gave them fair chance. There's nothing their lawyers can say. I reached out to them on Monday and on Tuesday again. I talked to the security officer today. The one I talked to was Colin. His name is Colin. I think he was the same guy I spoke to before. First day, they gave me a phone number for comms. Didn't go anywhere. I left a message. Didn't go anywhere. Didn't get any calls back. Second day, I called back again. I tell Colin, you gave me a number that doesn't go anywhere. I say, Colin, please write this down. Take this message down. Make sure this gets to your PR. I want you to issue a public statement about the fact that your videos are on the internet. It shows an illegal black operation. You guys are implicated. You need to issue a statement about it. Here you go. No callback once again. Okay. Friday rolls around. I call them before work. I have them ready to go. They're on the East Coast, whatever. So I say, hey, this is Ashton Forbes calling back again. I haven't got a call back. I've got 2 videos leaking all over the internet. Gorgon Stare, blah, blah, blah. Beep. They hang up. Hang up on me. Okay. Call back again. Beep. They don't even say anything. I don't even say anything. I just wait there with the call. I hear nothing. And then the guy just hangs up. Okay. Call back again. Picks up, hangs up immediately. Hangs up immediately again. This is 100% real. Exactly how it went down. They've had 11 years to say the truth about those videos. They've had 11 years while those videos have been on the internet to say the truth, and they haven't done it. 239 people were lost. Thousands of family members lost their loved ones. Those people 100% knew the truth. And there's no excuse they can make because the footage wasn't just on their servers, it was publicly available. And anyone connected to that who saw those videos knows that's their software. They know they're the ones that distributed that. No question. So she doesn't have any excuse. She can't say she didn't know. That's not an excuse. Ignorance is not an excuse. The only thing they can say is, yes, that's our footage. And we had no idea that was going down at the time. We're extremely sorry. Here's all the data. We're going to make everything publicly available to show how we're not involved in that. That's the only option they have. Anything less than that is not transparent, and I will not accept it. We have to get them to address the situation publicly because it's highly unlikely they will risk lying publicly at this point. We have them in such a perfect position right now. This is why the only messaging we need to be putting out there is that video is Gorgon Stare. Here's the peer-reviewable forensic proof that it's Gorgon Stare. And we are just waiting for the government, the Air Force and DOD's public stance on the videos. That's what we want to know. We don't actually at this point even want them to admit it's Gorgon Stare. We don't care. We know it's Gorgon Stare. What we want is this. This is exactly what we want. Get ready. Write this down. We want to know the Air Force and the DOD's public stance on the MH370 videos, Gorgon Stare, Aegis videos. So now there's this rumor going on at Sierra Nevada Corporation. It turns out the rumor is 100% real, too. If you're at Sierra Nevada Corporation, if I were you, I'd be looking for a new job. Second thing I'd be doing is asking my boss, when are we going to issue a public statement about those leaked videos of our illegal covert operation that was going on? That somebody's definitely going to prison for. Definitely. That's the murder of 239 people. All we need, and that's why I'm not even worried about it, is just 1 or 2 people to be willing to testify that, yes, that's Gorgon Stare footage, increment 2. Or what if it's a different increment, whatever. We reviewed the main evidence that shows why it's Gorgon Stare right here. This one explains the why is a Gorgon Stare. This right here explains the how and when they upgraded it. Wide area aerial surveillance. This is Gorgon Stare 1. So we were able to figure out this is Gorgon Stare increment 1. Because of the date on this going back to 2012, that's the first iteration of it. And it only has a pod under 1 wing. And you'll see down here, actually, this is dope looking. Right down here, one of the pods is just a sensor and one's a camera. So that's not the one we're looking at. We know it's not this one. The one we're looking at's got 2. 1 pod under each wing. So we're looking at, once again, iteration 2 of this. But if you want to understand what Gorgon Stare is and why it's not even technically video. Video must be over a certain frame rate. It's whammy, wide area motion imagery. If you want to understand why it looks so weird, then you just need to read through this. Now, this also points out here on the left, the chip out windows, chip out motion window. So the chip out windows, I believe, are the small windows that we see, the variable windows that popped out. And we're seeing somebody recording one of those windows. They're recording one of these windows, and they can see the bigger field behind them. And what happens at the end of the video, I'm just going to skip ahead, is they go to the top right, up here, and they close the window. They close the window that's popped up on the screen. But the screen recording is still going. Or the window recording is still going. Watch it. Boom. That's another detail that proves that it's actually this functionality. So the video actually shows enough capabilities. This is still the video, by the way. It's not just black. This is actually that's the video. The video is just black. This is the Argus camera. And we are definitely looking at either a mid-wave or long-wave camera. I haven't quite figured out why it's white. It's either some kind of mode that they have or some kind of temperature inversion. Not really sure. Down here, you can see that it says you can call a video from the archive. So you can pull up a previously recorded. So what we're seeing is not when it was, at least for the Gorgon Stare video, we're looking at someone who pulled it up after the fact. Somebody pulled it up after the fact, and then they're moving the screen around because the windows are electronically steerable. So you can steer the window just like we see the user doing in the whammy footage. 5 frames per second right here. Capturing the scene in 5 frames per second in infrared. So right here, this connects the infrared. Let me change this. This right here connects the infrared capability that we're looking at. We know it's infrared because it's nighttime. That connects it to being very, very close to 6 frames per second, 5 frames per second. Very close. So we even have some online corroborating evidence of very, very close to 6 frames per second like we're seeing in that video. And technical capabilities, not what you see on the video, the technical way that the video is coming across, being transmitted, is 100% consistent with military, and only military uses that. So once again, why does this implicate Sierra Nevada Corporation? Why are they implicated? Because they are not just somebody that made a sensor and said, here, you bought this from me. Go take it and do whatever you want with it. That's not what Sierra Nevada Corporation is. They're actually somebody instilled in the process of delivering the data. That they are like actually packaging the sensor data, putting it together through their servers and their system, and then feeding it to these people. That criminally implicates them and connects them to it in a way well beyond just a situation where, oh, I just bought this gun. So the analogy people are going to say is, well, it's like blaming the gun manufacturer. No, it's not. That is not what's going on. That's why I'm not going after BAE Systems. BAE Systems just built the sensor. They don't know what's happening to it. Fine. Sierra Nevada Corporation is criminally implicated. They're not just, quote unquote, building the sensor. No. They are transmitting the data through their servers to the DOD or what have you. And even if they weren't doing that, even if we gave them the benefit of the doubt and somehow said, oh, it's the DOD owns the server, we don't touch it, which there's no way. Even if we did that, they still know they're looking at their software in those videos. And every day that goes by, they're more deeply implicated in the criminal cover-up. They're at a minimum implicated in the criminal cover-up, at a bare minimum already at this point right now. This is an operation, actually, because of the distance and proximity of this drone. The drone overhead could actually loiter for a long period of time. So there's one drone up above looking down on the plane. And this other drone, there's two drones. This drone is looking at it from the side. So I want you guys to make sure you get your facts straight on this. A lot of you guys are content creators. There are two drones. Satellites, let's just rule satellites out. There might be satellites involved, but let's just, for simplicity's sake, we don't need satellites to be involved other than the relay satellite. Two drones, one drone on the right here, filming straight down, or not quite straight down, down at an angle at the area, and then one drone horizontally. The way the camera operator is controlling the camera, we can tell this isn't just them like checking the situation out. The whole thing is an operation. The drone is there to record the operation, make sure everything goes smoothly. This is a lightning camera, G4, we think. I've been saying it wrong. It's spelt lightning, but it's pronounced lightning. Sure. Okay. It's a lightning camera, and this is FLIR, but it's colorized FLIR. So they basically just throw like a thermal gradient on the FLIR footage is how this works. And this color FLIR is about 7 years ahead of even just standard military rollout. So this color FLIR video shows that this is an operation as well, because they're using the most advanced surveillance equipment out there. And they had all these assets in the area. There's not enough time for them to respond with these super advanced assets and then get like a whammy drone above looking down on the plane. They were doing that, recording with all these super assets, because they knew what those orbs were about to do to the plane. They knew what those orbs were going to do. So that means those orbs are their weapon, that the whole thing is based on them using those orbs on that plane. Okay, so we've got our Delta plane. I mean, sorry, not Delta plane, the Malaysian Airlines plane. And then we've got one drone looking down, kind of like maybe at like an angle, like this. And then we got our other drone kind of looking at the side. Okay? Kind of like that. So two drones sandwiching the plane. They know what's going down. And then these orbs get deployed from, I don't even know where the orbs are being deployed from. Space, satellite, maybe another airplane, from a submarine. The second orb looks like it comes from the water. The second orb looks like it comes from the water. Look closely. See that? Look at the water in the middle of the screen, right below the plane. Look at the area right below the plane. You see that orb right there? Right there? Let me see if I can get it on the screen. There it is. It's right above the cloud. Okay. Anyway, so I don't know where these orbs are coming from. My guess is they can remain coherent long enough that they can come from pretty far away. That's my guess, is that they can be coherent long enough. I don't know how long they can stay coherent, but long enough that they can come from really far away. They might come from the abyss. You guys might be right. The people that are using magical Harry Potter orbs and teleporting planes away, those people know way more than they're letting on. Way, 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 way more. Also, they could probably tell us a thing or two about aliens for the people that care about aliens. I'm pretty sure the guys with the floaty magical orbs, they probably know what's going on with the alien thing. Just a wild, wild hunch. Remember General Joseph F. Dunford? He's the one that kind of makes Lockheed Martin make the most sense. He started Space Force. He became the #1 military member right after this mission under Obama. And he went to Lockheed Martin Board of Directors. So what we're realizing is that how are they hiding this technology? We actually learned, and I'm going to play the videos one more time. We learned so much about these videos because we learned how they're cooperating. The orbs are not going to be Air Force orbs. Those aren't standard Air Force orbs coming out of there, but that is Air Force surveillance. 100% that's Air Force surveillance. And the cameras we're seeing are advanced. So is this CIA? Is this CIA with like the most advanced military surveillance capabilities? And then they're working with like Lockheed Martin, and Lockheed Martin has the orbs. Therefore, there's plausible deniability because there's no way those orbs are Air Force or military. They've got to be defense contractor. And exactly. So then, like, where's the weaponry coming from? So this might be, in my opinion, the thing that makes the most sense is actually not even that it's the Air Force, even though everything points at the Air Force. Everything points at the Air Force, and we're going to hammer the Air Force because they're just like Sierra Nevada Corporation. The Air Force is the ones criminally implicated until they say otherwise because of the fact that there's Gorgon Stare footage. So the Gorgon Stare footage criminally implicates the Air Force until they say, no, it's not us. It was these other people. Same way with Sierra Nevada Corporation. They're criminally implicated until they go and rat out somebody else. Maybe we can gain some information from the fact that that happened. And now we know, too, we got to be super careful, man. These people are not messing around. They are planting whammy Gorgon Stare footage on the internet to try to discredit their own leaks. They're using people like Kim.com, who they have under criminal indictment, who they're trying to extradite to the United States. They're using him to try to like put major bounties that they're then like swiping the legs under. What's it called? I can't remember. Where they try to like build you up and then snatch the credibility away. They're doing legit disinfo to try to make the stuff go away.